Abduction, Chapter 18. Echo and I followed Maxim out of his study, while Valeri trailed behind us. The guests all huddled near the windows to get the best view of the UFOs. I was curious as well, but stood back a few feet from the onlookers. One did not have to get close to the windows to see the lights in the northern sky. There were two illuminated lights in the heavens, moving at speeds faster than an airplane could fly. Both appeared to be tumbling as they flew across the sky. It would be impossible for any man-made aircraft with how they were moving. Then, somehow, they darted across the sky and back again. Echo moved closer to me. I can only imagine what was going through her mind. I know what was going through mine, and I'm sure it was the same with our shared experiences with space creatures. I let my gaze slip over to where Natasha was standing by the mayor. Her date was over by another female sporting club member. The feeling I was getting was Natasha was not dating the person she came with. Natasha caught me looking at her and smiled shyly. She did not stop looking at me right away. It took the mayor speaking to her for us to break our gaze. Natasha was a mystery to me. My gut told me she was more than just a kiosk girl. But I couldn't trust my instincts. They weren't exactly on point lately. I didn't have feelings toward the girl, but I was drawn to her. The attraction was undeniable. I would avoid Natasha if I could, but I had to know what she knew about the city's disappearing people. I suppose there were others Natasha could tell her secrets to, so why did she need to talk with me? I turned back in time to see the two objects. They stopped in midair, and each light split into two. Then all four lights came together as one light. It darted away and then vanished. There was no explaining away what I just witnessed, as there was no way of ever getting rid of the chill, knowing what could happen if these beasts I saw in the Belarusian forest were unleashed on the world. Maybe Echo was right, and the impending doom was just a few alien excursions away. Meaning that all these disappearing people in Lusk are caused by aliens. Still, I refused to believe this scenario, but the possibility was slowly becoming a reality. People meandered away from the window with the UFOs gone, but the chatter I assumed remained about the lights in the sky. I didn't speak Ukrainian or Russian, so it was a guess that the conversation was upon. "I'm going to talk with Maxim some more," muttered Echo. "Maybe he will talk more freely with me. I think you should talk with Natasha. I've been watching her, and the way she is sneaking peeks at you, she knows something about the disappearances." "Are you sure?" "Yes, I'm sure," said Echo. She reached up and gave me a quick kiss on the lips and left to talk with Maxim, who spoke with other guests by the food table. Being nervous was not one of my traits, but speaking with Natasha was making me that way. It wasn't because I was afraid. On the contrary, it was a mutual sexual attraction that made our rendezvous for me a hazard. Plus, I was uncomfortable with how Echo would react. While in the same room, she was fine now, but I would pay for it later if I made any misstep with Natasha. I found Natasha hanging out with her date, but she dismissed the man when she saw me walking toward her. The young man looked at me and seemed agitated, but moved off like his feelings were hurt. The young man looked to be about the same age as Natasha. He was of average height for a Ukrainian male, with dark hair and brown eyes. There was nothing about him physically that stood out. "I would take you from your girl if I wanted to," muttered Natasha. "What makes you so sure I would leave her?" "I see it in your eyes, and your heart tells me so." I didn't think it was apparent, but Natasha picked up on the attraction between us. If she did, that means Echo knows as well. Great. I have to watch my step. Not that behaving like a gentleman is an issue for me, but one mistake and it would lead me down a path I didn't want to go. Man, I wish I was someone else right now. "Where can we go to talk?" I asked. Natasha's eyes darted in the direction of Maxim. "We can't talk here. There are too many eyes." I saw Echo over by Maxim talking with him. I had no feelings of jealousy, only fears of concern for her safety. We still didn't know anything about the man. Any attempts to find out more were thwarted by his refusal to say anything more than he wanted. There was also the disruption of our conversation by the appearance of UFOs. There were a few other people near Maxim and Echo, but none I recognized. Indeed, none of them appeared to be a threat to Echo either. Even Natasha's date was near Echo, but I felt like he was no real threat. "Let's go somewhere then," I remarked. "I'll let Echo know that we're going for a walk." Natasha shook her head. "I cannot. Maxim requested that I stay for the entire party." "Why not? We'll only be gone for a little while, and we both can return, and no one will miss us." Natasha looked away, almost childlike. "Call me. You have my number." I watched as Natasha walked away. She only left the scent of her perfume. She knew what she was doing, and it was driving me insane. I had to find Echo and get my head back in order. Natasha didn't walk back to her date, but mingled with other guests. That left her date to talk with the male employees of the club, all but Valeri. By appearances, Valeri went out of his way not to acknowledge the young man. Wanted to track Natasha down and talk with her more, but she made herself clear. Plus, I don't think Echo would let me have another conversation with the kiosk girl. I was done for the night and forced to enjoy the food that was on display. It smelled like heaven on a platter.